what's going on here.
Yeah.
Perfect. Welcome everyone, we're back and we have a very special guest today, a brand new friend, Vendula Kalinova. Vendula Kalinova. So Vendula,
Yes.
tell me a little bit about yourself.
Okay, so I come from Czech Republic. I came to the States when I was 18, and I have stayed since. And for the most part, I've been, well, I guess I could describe my education background, which is fashion design, interior design, shoe design.
Oh, amazing.
Nevertheless, we could like run through all the accolades.
Yes, please tell. I want to know everything.
No, actually, I'm being facetious.
Oh,
It's fancy, but it's really what I love to do. At the end of the day, is to just work with my hands. So although that's been very helpful to have education in those, avenues, I just, my jam is when I'm at home and just making stuff.
Amazing. So you're a true creator.
Yes.
Okay.
I'd like to think so.
That's awesome. So like I'm actually, we recently just met and we had our initial conversation. I could feel your energy. Like now we're living in an interesting time, right? Because our first call was a video call. So then I got to be in your space virtually.
True.
Which
true.
I don't know if this is weird of me, but like I literally could sense like the energy of the space and like the infinite possibilities, right? Because you have a studio at home,
Right.
and then it's very professionally set. It's not.
Thank you.
It's not like my version of a studio at home, which is just like a pile of stuff that you have to dig through. You know?
No, I'm a little bit of a. I like to collect tools and machines and.
Yeah, that's great because
and
of course.
I kind of live in my workspace essentially. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, that must keep the energy just kind of like flowing.
Yeah.
I was very inspired by your space, so
Oh,
I can't wait to visit it in person. But right now.
Yeah, I
You
brought
get
a
to
little
show-
bit of it with
Yeah,
me.
you get to show us a little bit of what you
Yeah.
create in your space. So tell me about your creation.
I've been sewing, I've been, embroidering, nano-felting.
May I?
Of course. I brought this one so I can put it on so you can see it.
Oh, amazing.
And I've done anything from publishing a coloring book to just making candles, pouches, you name it. It's more like whatever my heart desires is usually what I tend to kind of go towards, which we discuss. It's like, oh, I like this, and the next day, oh my God, I want to make a nice lamp, and then you sculpturing, and then you're just doing things, and it's so much fun.
Something that I think is spoken about quite little in my personal experience of life, I guess, which is, having that capability is a true gift that many people don't understand, right? Like, like many times you'll meet people who do a few things, but it's quite rare to find someone who studied interior design, so you fully understand a space, then design, so then you could even design what goes into the interior design.
Right, and then actually make it with your hands.
And then you're a maker, so
Right.
then there is no stopping you. There is no idea that you could actually like you can look at something and be like, oh, I can do that. It's a very different understanding of the world when that's your experience of life. And so I think that that's something that is rare to find, but even rarer to talk about and why more people should try to create more, right? What would you say to someone at home that sees you and thinks, oh, I wish I could do that?
Oh, well, I'm a little bit older than yourself, so I've taken quite a few years to hone my skills. But honestly, it started like I remember my very first creative memory, which it just always stands out to me. I was probably about 4, and there was this aunt. I mean, in my country, everybody was an aunt, so her name was Mrs. Mary, and she brought this little leftover of wool. It was like a little round ball of yarn, not a.
Yeah, like
yarn, right. And it was dark green and it had a little like gold accent. And back then I grew up in communism, so everything was like not accessible. You couldn't watch TV, you couldn't travel, you couldn't really even get access to books. So seeing something that's shiny was like, oh my God. And I remember as a little girl, my mom taught me how to crochet. And so I was like probably 4 or 5 years old. And I crochet, it was very simple. I crocheted like this little 2 squares and I sewn it together to make a vest. but I couldn't get it on the doll because the opening was too small. It was just, you know, it was square. So I was just thinking, oh, I'm just gonna dress her. And I remember that was like my first memory of like, oh, well, I have to somehow figure out how to do that. And then it's like, oh, I have to undo this. And that process like just fascinated me. And so anytime I did anything, if it would be, and we didn't have much, you know, so it was like if you have paper, you start making little origami and then you learn this. And I think today people have so much access with YouTube and everything that's out there. It's like, oh my God, really? Like if I need to learn how to nana felt, it's like, oh, just press a button and there's a tutorial.
Yeah.
So that's really the only advice is like, just like live on YouTube if you want to learn stuff.
Live in YouTube and go for it, right? Like just go for it, and if you make a mess, it doesn't matter.
And don't be shy, and honestly, don't listen to your friends that are like one of those, what are you going to use this for? And where are you going to put this?
Naysayers, we call them.
Yes, exactly. It's like, don't worry about it. I'll find a space. I'll make something. You know, I have things that I haven't opened for like 5 years. And if you tell me like, oh, we need to like stretch canvas today, I'm like, oh, I got that. I got the stapler.
Oh, I'm going to share that to my boyfriend. He's going to love that.
Yeah, because, well, then your next purchase is obviously a Cricut machine. So
yes,
that we know.
Yes, that I have identified. But, you know, I'm actually on the spectrum of, you know, when you like break something and then it's like, oh wait, well no, I'm not gonna throw it out.
Oh,
it will come in handy at some point. So I have like all this.
You'll paint it gold later, and then it's like in the closet, in a paper towel, in pieces. 5 years later, you're like, oh yeah, I was meaning to do this.
Or like wood pieces that it's like, I'll figure something out. But then, you know, time goes by and then something happens, and then I'm like, I have the perfect wooden piece for that, and it's like I come out with some odd shape.
I think that is a true definition of an artist, honestly. Is that like I see, and that's what I like. My shirt says, right? I turn thoughts into things.
Yes.
And
okay. So let me make sure that the camera gets it.
Well, yeah. So a lot of my work, because I'm very spiritually inclined, it's kind of like I find fascinating people. You know, these days everything is, oh, we're gonna manifest this and you can create that and whatever. But if you think about it, artists have this like divine ability to actually think of something and produce it and make it with a relatively short time. And so a lot of people, when they are not creative, let's say, or they don't have the ability, they're like, oh my God, how do you do that? Like, I can't even draw a candle, you know? And you can literally think of something and just sit and focus, and all of a sudden it's like, oh my God, there's a burst. I thought of it, and there it is.
Yeah,
and you literally, that manifestation is happening live in front of your eyes.
You know, I never thought about it that way, but you're
it's like
totally
mind
right.
to matter. You literally think of something, and then you, whatever it is, let's say it's a fabric,
well,
and
like
then
this,
there's a clothes.
I wouldn't know where to start. I actually, you know, I showed you, I bought a sewing machine. I've used it 3 times. But I mean, this looks very complicated to me.
It's very detailed, yeah. Like I really like this. Actually, took me about 3 weeks. And I had a stage when I was obsessed with bowling bags. And I was like, I want to kind of like a retro bowling bag. Yeah. And then for whatever the reason, I like to play with a lot of details, and so then it always kind of ends up looking sort of Victorian for whatever reason.
But I mean, it looks very interesting because it's got some like this. I don't know what it's called, like the handle.
Recycled,
it's really
some
cool.
sort of circles I found, just like you did with the wood. And then this is
a
yarn that has a golden accent that's felted into this, and these are nana felted, which is really just you kind of shape wool with water, kind of sculpted, and you know, all of this is sewn. So there's like so many little details you wouldn't notice, but that is like when I'm in my flow state, what they call it. You know, I just like make things, and then I probably never use it. Sometimes, you know, when you're fortunate, you actually have someone that comes to you and like, oh my God, I like this, I want to buy this, which is just beautiful because it's an exchange, right? Like you actually were in some like beautiful energy making something, and then someone actually likes it, and so I live for that. That's
an
like
exchange of energy, or it's like this vision that you had, and now it lives to make someone's day.
Literally,
you know?
Like you think of it, then you make it.
Yeah,
it's just beautiful.
Yeah, well, you know, like this detail I love, and actually I'm thinking, and I mean, I don't know what a yoga person carries in their bag, but I think that I hope this is catching it, like just for size, right?
Oh yeah, you could put a little mat in there.
No, you can fit a lot of things here for sure.
I had my protein I fit all of my products in there. I didn't even have to have a luggage. So it's perfect.
There you go.
And then it's like, you know, and again, this was actually a collection of handbags, so this goes together. So it's shape of Buddha, and
So this is more
This is more just like basically a purse, right? Like a little handbag. You just carry stuff in
But
it.
I love how you got creative with the handle because
because it's a little Asian sort of influence, so it's like chopsticks. And so when I had these little dowels, I was like, well, how can I make them look not so inexpensive? So I just wrapped this little thing in there. Yeah.
Amazing. And I love this idea that you stay on brand. It's really intricate and it has the glitter.
Yeah, it's basically yarn. You know when you have a piece of string, like a yarn?
Yeah, but
and you just felt it, which means that with needle, you actually put it into the...
But do you have to sew it onto the fabric?
No, because there is like a material underneath that sort of, it's like an adhesive that keeps it together, and you have like a sponge material underneath, so when you poke with the needle, it actually perforates the fabric.
Do you teach all of these amazing...
I have. It's just, you know, it's like not so common that people are like, hey, I want to learn how to felt today, you know? But probably, this is so many tutorials online these days, you know?
Yeah, but I mean, it could be cool to learn how to make
there's
this
like different
exact
techniques
type
that
of
you
thing
can
or
add
something.
into. Yeah.
This actually caught my eye on your website. I believe I saw it.
Yeah, I know you.
Oh no, I saw them in your studio.
Right,
yeah.
right. Yeah. So this is something I worked with a couple of years ago. It's essentially a recycled tablecloth. It's a vinyl, right? And
do they open?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
They're wearable, and they have. There you go.
Oh, they're really
well,
for girls.
It's made for a smaller neck.
But
yeah, they have pressed
imagine
flowers.
the idea.
Yeah, because I like to preserve like things, right? Because I'm a little bit of a hoarder. So of course, if there are flowers, why throw them out? Because so I just press them in there, and then this, you could see basically. I guess it makes sense that I'm wearing white. You can actually put it on your neck and close it. Well, my neck is. This is made to my neck. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, so it fits
if I can actually do this without a mirror. I'm not sure myself, but yeah. So this would be the.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
so I can actually see now, even with what you're wearing.
What I like is the concept that it's just by itself.
Yeah.
So it's actually a shirt collar, but then if you wear something that's kind of, let's say, off shoulder, it accentuates your neck, right? So
it finishes the line.
It's essentially an accessory, yeah.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah.
And then, did I hallucinate this, or do you also have a cuff?
No, I haven't. I've made jewelry as well, but it's just I made so many things that it's like, yes, focus.
Oh, so then my brain went there. So I imagine this and the cuffs.
And the cuffs, there you go. Yeah, that could be a nice combination. So I made like with fabric lace, some flowers in there.
Yeah. These are really cool.
Thank you.
I'm surprised that you decided to stop with this product because I think it's so genius.
Yeah, well, at some point, right, they've been on the market, and there was a bit of like, is it eco-friendly because it's technically plastic, even though it's recycled, how many cloths am I gonna get to recycle tablecloths, right?
This is one of those things that you'll keep forever because you're not gonna wear it daily.
Right.
You're gonna wear it for a special occasion or something, and then you'll save it. And then maybe 2 years later, you'll be like, oh, I have this perfect thing, and then you'll take it out. So it's like a piece for life. So I don't think that it's the kind of thing.
When it comes to art, there's a bit of grace, hopefully.
Exactly. And it's also wearable art, which it's not just an accessory, right? Which makes it quite special, if you ask me.
Thank you for sticking around and for allowing me to share my work with you. And don't forget to check out my Instagram and on my website. All of the links are below.